very pleased to welcome Mike Woodson back to the Big Ten, along with a couple of the elder statesmen on his team, Trace Jackson-Davis and Race Thompson. Welcome, fellas. Great to have you here. Coach, I want to start with you.
All right.
You have coached only in the NBA. You're an NBA guy. What made this a challenge that you wanted to assume?
It's back home. That was, the whole reason for me coming back to get this job. I mean, Scott, our AD, Dawson, came in and interviewed me in New York. And, yes, I've spent 34 years of my life in the NBA, but this is the only college job that I would pursue. And he came in, interviewed me, liked my pitch, and a week later he offered me the job. And it's good to be back home. It really is. It's like full circle for me.
What was your pitch?
Well, my pitch was I thought I can get this team back on top. And the only way to do that is to be able to come in and work with the players that we had. Yes, we had to go in the portal and get a few players out of that system and put them together. It's still work in progress. But I told him I thought I could change it here at Indiana University in terms of the program on both ends of the floor, because that's what it's going to take to get back on top.
Trace and Race, I want to ask you both about Coach Woodson and his connections to Indiana. I think that's the thing that stands out, right? Is not only is he connected there, but here's a guy who played for a legendary coach who had incredible success, who was an All-American, a great player. We all know about the NBA pedigree, and I do want to talk about that. But the Indiana part of it and how personal it is to Coach Woodson, how does that come out, Trace?
Most definitely. Coach Woodson, just even the staff that he brought in, bringing Coach Fife in, who's been at Michigan State the last 10 years, that's just, people want to be around him. And so that was really big for us. And then having guys like Isaiah Thomas come in and talk to us, telling his stories, and then hearing, they tell it like it was yesterday, but it was really 30, 40 years ago. So it's really just crazy. But we're really glad to have him, and he's a great coach.
Old folks like us tend to do that. We wax nostalgic about things as if they were yesterday, because that's all we've got at this point in our lives, Trace. Race, how about for you? How does it play out, kind of this IU connection and how personal it is?
Yeah, I mean, like what Trace said, Coach Woodson came in and he made it like a family. First day he came in, he bringing us on a tour around the Assembly Hall, telling us what it's about, telling us what IU is really about. And then, again, he brings people into practice once or twice a week, Coach Fife, coaching staff. Overall, it's really just a really family vibe out here.
I love this video of you at Hoosier Hysteria, Coach.
That was fun.
What was that like?
Fun. I'd never experienced anything like that before. We didn't have it back in the day. So to be able to come out on the floor and have all the fans cheering, and it wasn't about me, really. It was about these guys.
But it's about you a little bit.
No, not
but
really,
it's got to be cool for you, right?
It was
about
about
to be back
these
out
guys.
On that court, to be wearing the candy stripe pants again.
Well, I know what the candy stripe is about. It was the Kenyon Hunters, the Armand Hills, guys like that don't understand what it was about. And so I made them wear the candy stripes at night.
What was that moment like for you guys? I mean, it feels like in a weird sort of way there's kind of a rebirth here, right?
Most definitely. It's really crazy, honestly, especially since we haven't had fans in the building for like 18 months. So it's almost like a fresh restart. It's like a reset button on Indiana basketball. And that's how we're going to look at it. And hopefully we look at the banners every day. We look at the national or the Big Ten titles. And that's where we're trying to get to.
I want to ask you guys a bit about style of play. Race, give us a sense of what Indiana basketball is going to look like, particularly on the offensive end.
Just playing fast, playing together, working together to get great shots, and just playing overall. I mean, it really starts on defensive end for us. As long as we play defense, we get to have fun on offense. So that's really our mindset. So as long as we play hard on defense, Coach Woodson said we get to go play offense, we get to have fun.
How does that jive with your message? He hearing what you're saying?
He's right on line in terms of my approach. I've always felt as a coach, if you can build a defensive system and these guys really buy in, you put yourself in position to win ball games. Offensively, anybody can play offense. If you're unselfish, yes, you still got to make shots and put the ball in the hole, but we can't be a selfish team offensively. We got to share it. We don't have a lot of superstars, but we got one big superstar and this big hunk over here, and we got a bunch of supporting cast that I think that's got to be ready to play when called upon. The races, I think, has picked it up this year in terms of practice, and a lot of guys are moving in the right directions. I like Rob Fennessy and the things that he's done. The Galloways and the Geronimos and Anthony Lee, these guys are all starting to pick it up.
Why is your guy next to you laughing? What are you laughing
because
about?
He knows exactly where I'm coming from when it comes to that. But I like the style of play that we've implemented, and these guys are working. They're doing everything we've asked them to do, and that's all from a coaching standpoint you can ask for.
Trace, what are you thinking right now?
I agree, 100%. He said Geronimo, and Geronimo's brought it to another level, especially in the last 2-3 weeks. He's really stepped it up. So he's really coming into his own, and he's going to really make a big impact on our team. So,
Race, who else has stood out? Guys, maybe that can make a jump.
I'd say Anthony Little, Christian Lander. I think really everybody's made a jump. I mean, we committed ourselves to this team, to the program, and I'd say this year is really different. We got people putting in more work than they've ever put in. I mean, overall, it's just been fun. Everybody's pushing each other to get better every single day.
Trace was talking about bringing Dane Fife back to the program, someone who obviously everyone involved in the Big Ten knows quite well and has done a tremendous job at Michigan State, but of course most associated with playing in Indiana and the glory years there. Why was it important to you to bring Dane back?
Well, again, the first thing I looked at, yes, he played at Indiana and he knows what it's about, but his leadership under Tom Izzo, all the years he worked for Tom and the success that they've had over the years, I thought could really help us. And he's been a nice addition to our staff, along with Kenyon Hunter and Coach Rosemont and Armand Hill and Thad Mata, who's...
Yeah, I'm interested. I wanted to ask you about his role. What's Thad's role going to be?
Well, Thad works for the AD, but he also has been very instrumental in giving me input on college basketball. He's had great success at Ohio State, and I would be foolish not to pick him. I'm always picking all the coaches. They probably think I'm crazy as hell, but that's what we do in terms of, trying to get information, trying to learn, and get better as a ball club. So he sits in all of my meetings, and we talk basketball. That's very healthy and good for me.
He knows a little bit about that topic
Sure he
and
does.
about winning in the Big Ten,
Absolutely.
that's for sure.